Multiplying and dividing integers. For those of you that saw my addition and subtraction of integers video, this is a similar picture but not quite the same. I took this picture as well, and this is from the Colosseum, and it was really neat to actually be there and be in a building that was still standing that's older than our entire country. Rules for multiplying and dividing integers. If you can remember how many negatives and stuff like that it takes to make a positive and things like that, that's fine. If you're remembering it though, you probably aren't going to need to watch this video. So that means that it didn't stick last time. So you might instead think about these situations. When good things happen to good people, it's good. So for this, that's like taking a positive number times a positive number and getting a positive number. So good things happening to good people is good. So let's say that's like your best friend who is the nicest person in the history of the world. They're getting an award from Dr. Gilbreth for being so gosh darn nice to everybody. So that's a really good thing, that somebody who's doing all this good stuff is getting rewarded for being such a good person. Situation 2. When good things happen to bad people, it's bad. So that's a positive times a negative, that's a negative. Or a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So instead of your best friend who's the nicest person in the history of the world getting this award for good citizenship, maybe it's the person who has flicked your left earlobe on the bus every single day since the first day of kindergarten, and they are so mean to you. And instead of your really nice friend getting this award, let's say it was this really not so nice person. Let's say it was a pretty mean person. And them getting an award for good citizenship when they're not nice to you at all, that's not good. That's pretty bad. Situation 3. When bad things happen to good people, it's bad. So a negative times a positive is a negative. Or a negative divided by a positive is a negative. So bad things happening to good people, it's bad. So let's say your best friend, who's the nicest person ever, is walking across the stage to get this award for good citizenship, and they fall and trip. You might giggle a little bit, but then you're going to think about how much you would like this person and how good of a friend they are to you, and you're going to feel pretty bad for them. And when they're not so happy about it later on, you're going to try and console them and make them feel better about it, because it wasn't a good thing that happened to them, it was a bad thing. Lastly, when bad things happen to bad people, it's good. So that's like a negative times a negative is a positive. Or a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Now, this is just in the math world. We know in the real world there's no truly bad people and things like, and truly good people. People are kind of mixed between. But bad things happening to bad people is good. Let's go back to our situations we were talking about earlier. This would be like that person who's flicked your left earlobe every day since kindergarten. That would be like them walking across the stage for their award and tripping and falling. You're probably going to laugh a little bit harder than you would have had it been your best friend. Another thing to think about, and I am not a fan of this person at all. I am not a fan of Paris Hilton. To me, she's only famous because her daddy has lots of money, and she's capitalized on this whole idea of being blonde and a woman and stupid. And that irritates me that she's making all this money by playing a dumb blonde. And I'm sure she's really smarter than she actually is, but because she's portraying women and blondes in such a terrible way, to me she's not so great of a person. And she got in trouble several years ago for doing a not so good thing. She got in trouble for driving under the influence and got sent to jail. Well, to me, Paris Hilton's a bad person, and jail's definitely a bad thing. So to me, when she got sent to jail, even though it wasn't for a very long time, I was kind of like, ha, that's right. That's what you get, Paris Hilton. If anybody else would have done that, they would have gotten the same thing. So to me, it was kind of good when Paris Hilton got sent to jail. I know that's a little mean, but that's how I felt about it. So let's put this into action. Negative 50 divided by 5. We've got a negative divided by a positive. So that would be like bad things for the negative divided by good things or good people. Bad things happening to good people. We don't want bad things to happen to good people. That's bad. So that's going to be a negative 10. You try. This notation's slightly different, but it still means the exact same thing. This is negative 20 divided by negative 4. Pause your video and try this one. Did you get positive 5? If so, draw a heart because you are starting to love math now because you're getting things right. If you did not, put an X. Go back and review the different situations. Once you understand where you went wrong, put a circle around it. Example 2. Here I've got 3 digits, but it's still going to work the same way. We're just going to get to choose 2 digits at a time. So let's start with negative 3 and negative 1. That's bad things happening to bad people. Well, bad things happening to bad people, we don't want good things to happen to them. We kind of want bad things to happen to them. So that's good. So that's going to give me a positive 3. So I'm left with positive 3 times negative 4. That's good things happening to bad people. Well, we don't want good things to happen to bad people. We don't want serial killers winning the lottery. We don't want good things happening to bad people. So that's bad. So that's going to be a negative 12. Try this one on your own. Pause your video, double check your answer, and see if it matches mine. Did you get 36? If so, draw a sunshine on your paper because your days are looking brighter now that you're understanding how to multiply and divide your integers better than you were before. If not, put an X, look back at the previous example, then circle your X when you understand where you went wrong. For homework tonight, try these 6 problems. Again, your parentheses are just there to separate your negative symbol from your center symbol.